What message would it send to other witnesses in our investigation? I'm not willing to find out. And to that point, I know that so much of this is partisan, but an apartisan point here is Republicans at some point will be back in the majority. If they issue a subpoena and someone just completely flouts it, they would want some consequence as well. Speak to us of just the institutional element here.
Right? And there are another 36 expected over the next 3 days. So we had that illustration we wanted to show you about that because these container ships are just stacking up here.
Of looking into what happened on January 6th, something that every single member in that chamber experienced, something that you experienced that's still so fresh in the minds of people who are here on Capitol Hill every day. We've consistently seen conservatives like Cheney and Kinzinger try to elevate this out of the partisan muck that we often find the parties in here on the Hill. But frankly, until we see who those two other people are that voted yay, I'm not sure, what can be drawn from this. I do think, though, the larger point is one that we've made before, which is that this is about setting precedents. But I think this vote can also underscore the hold that the
Find out, and because of COVID, most of these sailors can't leave the ship, right, unless they're vaccinated. So they're not allowed to get off, and of course, the company doesn't want them coming back to contaminate or infect.
Subpoenaed by the U.S. Congress or by a court and feel like you've got a privilege against self-incrimination. Then you go before the court and you take the fifth. You plead the fifth. Or if you think you're president of the United States, you plead executive privilege. But he didn't even bother to come in and make any of his pleas. He just blew us off. And you can't blow off the United States Congress from your sofa and think you're going to get away with it. Most everybody else has been directly participating or at least engaged in active good faith negotiations with our committee. Everybody owes the sovereign his or her best evidence about what took place on January 6th. That's what
Number of shippers coming over from China is actually going up. Back to you.
What a mess for those folks. William, thank you very much. Let's bring in Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri. He is introducing the Make in America to Sell in America Act, saying American families are bearing the brunt of this crisis. Senator, good to have you with us.
They have thousands of documents coming to them, both that they've compelled to come their way and also that people have volunteered to send them. People have volunteered to come and talk with them. So there are things that are happening behind the scenes that we are going to start seeing soon. This subpoena is part of it. It's part of the larger precedent setting of Congress's ability to have oversight. But broadly speaking, for the January 6th committee, they are getting information. It's not like they're sitting in a black hole of nothing. They're just not having access right now to the information that Steve Bannon has, which is important because we know he was in touch with the former president. Mm-hmm. At the same time, though, there are other people who were subpoenaed who also were. That's just as important as well.
Barbara McQuaid is back with us, MSNBC legal analyst and former U.S. attorney. And Barbara, I'm thinking